Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves Country Today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby, Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper, don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea the Mets he would bury. D is for David, justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews, 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred, McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine, southpaw winds and kicks, changing speeds east and west, a gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright, the father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play, Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones, Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider, the quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez, Javi to B-Mac, Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog, he won 355, could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro, he got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis, old Nixon could fly, the catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson, we were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking, the top pitcher's lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy, the big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler, Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren, Skip Carey 2, Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren, Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni, yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Rama-Lama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying, it felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee, to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024. Join the Country Club today. The first month is free. You'll have access to badges, one-of-a-kind emojis to display your Braves pride throughout the ball game. You'll also get instant access to our video drops, members-only chat, wallpapers, and more is on the way. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today.
You're in Braves country.
Good afternoon, Braves Country. Right off the bat, welcome in David McLean to Braves Country via Charlie Pittman. Trying to make sure that the audio hasn't messed up again. I'm just doing a test run real quick before I start the show. Y'all let me know if the audio sounds okay. If everything is a go. I thought I heard something strange in the pregame, but maybe not. Okay. So I apologize. I don't know what the hell I was hearing. I was hearing some kind of little feedback or whatever, but it might have just been something very minor. All right, so ignored the old man. I keep an extra device running outside so that I can check things pre-game, and I could have swore I heard something. I was like, God, here we go again. We haven't looked. It's a beautiful day here so far, so we haven't lost power or anything like that. I was like, what in the world? But anyways, that's the world we live in. I'm wearing my look. Would I have a Willie Mays hat? Of course not. I didn't grow up a San Francisco or Giants fan, but I'm wearing the Hank Aaron hat today because of Willie Mays. We got the bad news last night during the game that he passed away. I got a pretty good audio that I'm going to probably save for you for Friday night show. It's a pretty cool thing that someone did, but I didn't have enough time to do that along with all the other stuff we have to do today. We got a couple of really good clips. The first one is from Schwellenbach. I had to edit it because it was long as hell, so I had to edit it. I wanted y'all to hear that. And then after that, we have the clip of Travis d'Arnaud talking about Schwellenbach and everything. All right, here is Schwellenbach here for the pregame. And I'll tell you what, we got a tough one in front of us today. We've got Tarek Skubal. More on him in a second, but this guy's coming in with an 8-2 record. But more impressively, because you can't pay attention to records, a 2.2 ERA and a 0.91 WHIP. And this guy brings it. 98 miles an hour he'll top out at, and he'll drop a curve in on you around 79. That's a big difference, and he's a left-hander. Now, in years past, we've done well against lefties, but Tarek Skubal, he was my preseason pick for the American League Cy Young, so this isn't some flash in the pan. This guy brings it. I don't think he's a household name because he plays for Detroit, and a lot of folks don't really follow the Tigers. They're an up-and-coming young team. They still got a lot of pieces they're going to add, but here's Schwellenbach on last night's start, incredible start, and really starting to get his feet underneath them, I believe.
Just take us through these 4 starts. How much more comfortable have you felt with each start? And then, this one just had the added element of being able to pitch in front of the home crowd.
Significantly, just growing every time I pitch, learning, what to throw, when to throw it, how to throw it. And that's kind of helped me set up hitters and set up weak contact or miss bats. I just expect a lot out of myself. And in order to play well, I feel like I have to be calm because I've had a lot of failure in my life, in baseball and other sports. And I always go back to this. When I had Tommy John, I didn't pitch for 20 months. I had a long time to sit there and kind of be okay with not playing, but also that urge to get back to playing. And now that I am playing, kind of taking every day, as it is, and not getting too far ahead of myself. And it helps me with every pitch. You have a lot of time to work on different pitches, different grips, and you throw a bunch of bullpens to kind of get your control and command where you need it to be or where you want it to be. And last year I kind of struggled with, I threw strikes, but putting the ball where I wanted it to. And this year I've noticed that's been a lot better. And just after having 1 year under my belt after Tommy John, it was really easy to come in here and feel comfortable. You walk in, everyone shakes their hand with a smile on their face, and I feel comfortable to ask questions whenever I need to. And guys have kind of taken me under their wing and just allows me to talk to them without, like you said, walking on eggshells. I think maybe just the pitch selections of, I would never throw 3 cutters in a row. And tonight I let the game decide that for me. Threw a cutter, swing and a miss. Threw another cutter, swing and a miss. And why not throw another one? I would never have done that. But Travis kind of went through pregame with me, kind of what we were going to do. And if we got to a situation like that, kind of lean on that pitch. And that's kind of what we did.
You're a closer in college. Last year, you really starting again. They have to slowly bring you along. You start this year in high A. Why do you think you've made or been so successful here these first 4 starts? I mean, it's pretty incredible. It's not something for you to dwell on, I get, but
I think the off season that I put in, honestly, I've never worked as hard. Had a lot of people help me out and kind of challenging me, I guess. And I worked out with Casey Mize this off season, so it was cool to pitch against him tonight. But like I said, just how hard I worked this off season with different pitches. Lost 10 pounds, feel faster, feel a lot healthier. That's got to be what it is, honestly.
How many pitches would you have said you had at this point last year?
This point last year, I might have had 3 working on my 4th. Now I have 6.
Kind of threw away. I mean, in Baltimore, you used the 2-seamer a lot.
Yeah. Tonight a couple times. It didn't feel as good tonight, so whenever we really needed it, I threw it.
When you talked to Travis d'Arnaud before the game, I know Chadwick Trump calls him his favorite player in the organization. Charlie Morton said the way he calls the game is artistry. What is it about the way he guides you through the game that you think makes him so good?
So the biggest thing with him is he'll call a pitch, and if you shake it or you throw the pitch in the dugout after, he'll tell you why he did that. And sometimes when you're in the moment, you're like, no, I don't want that pitch, and you throw something else, he'll tell you why you threw the pitch. And you don't have that in the minor leagues. You don't have that in college.
So that was Schwellenbach after the start, and I've been really impressed with this kid from the jump. I'm not surprised that he's the one that really stepped up compared to him and Waldrop. Not that Waldrop is, and Waldrop's got great stuff, but they rushed him up there. I mean, Waldrop is not ready to be in the major leagues. And you heard some of the one thing I will say for Waldrop, some of the interviews that he's had after his poor performances, he's owned up to him and also has a very good outlook on why he has failed. So I expect Waldrop to be back, and the next go around, it's going to be a hell of a ride. This is Travis d'Arnaud, and he was being interviewed about the game and everything. I want y'all to hear Travis's perspective because he's the one, seeing everything from Schwell.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's more having a few guys here like Sale, like Freed, like Charlie. I mean, 3 guys who have been in the biggest moments of this game. So for Schwelly to be able to ask them any sort of question that they want, to have them with great answers, and they're able to soak it all in and listen and go about things the right way. And it makes it easy for me and Murph, because now I know we can just talk to him about anything because he's able to talk to them. We see him talking to the big guys, so me and him we feel more comfortable just going up to him and talking to him about everything, and it's been fun.
Spencer was kind of talking about the way that you guide him through the game, especially after innings. If he shakes you off, you tell him why. And I wonder, with young pitchers, what are the things that you try to focus on in between innings before starts to bring them along?
It's not so much trying to change what he did. It's more what my thought process was and what I saw. And then he tells me right back what he saw and what his thought process was. So later in the game, if we get in that same situation, we both trust each other. If I put something down or if he shakes, like, we both know that our thoughts are in the right place and that it's going to be a well-executed pitch.
What are the biggest advantages just with a young player like that, he talked about just still adjusting to the league, to have that comfortable open dialogue with you?
It's really rare. It's really rare. Fortunately, a lot of the young guys we've had come up here have had that trait. But when young guys come up to us and then ask me and Murph what we see, I think it gives them a different perspective. And it kind of tells me that he was doing that in the lower levels with his catchers as well. So it makes that adjustment period to this league a lot quicker than if you didn't talk to anybody.
Is there anything that has particularly impressed you about his arsenal or his execution?
Fastball command. I mean, it's the hardest pitch to hit is a well-located fastball. So when you have fastball command, especially at 95, 98, it makes it tough to hit.
So that was Travis d'Arnaud talking about Schwellenbach. I was impressed by the entire outing by him. I think the kid is going to, you're going to make an argument down the road on whether or not, if he continues to pitch the way he did last night, the argument could be made, does he start a postseason game? Now, we got to see a lot more from him. As of right now, game 4 starter would obviously be Charlie Morton. But if Charlie Morton struggles and he takes the baton, I could see a scenario where Schwellenbach is slated to start a game 4 in the postseason, and Charlie's coming out of the pen as he's got a lot of bullpen experience, as most of y'all know. Today's game, runs are going to be at a premium. And so I'm going with the Braves to win. I'm going 3-1. I think Ronaldo Lopez is going to dominate the Detroit Tiger lineup. And I think the Braves are going to have a hard time getting runs out of Skubal. What I hope to see, there's a couple of numbers you want to pay attention to with Turk Skubal. Yes, he's 8-2. Yes, he has a 2.2 ERA. Yes, he has a 0.91 whip. So he's keeping guys off bases. He's keeping guys off the board. In 86 innings, this isn't a high number, but it does stick out. He has allowed 6 home runs. So you can get to him. What we hope is that when he hits one, there's someone on base. I'm going with the big Zuda click today, and I'm going to go with the Braves to win 3-1. Other guys to keep an eye on in this lineup today, very few have actual experience against Skubal being in the American League. Here's some interesting things, though. Kid Kelenic, he's 1 for 3 lifetime with a strikeout. No home runs. Nobody in the lineup has a home run against him. But these are the guys that have faced him. Kid Kelnick's 1 for 3 with a 3.33 ER average, obviously. Matt Olson, he's 2 for 4. And he does have an RBI, but no, like I said, nobody has a home run. Duvall is just 0 for 1. And Sean Murphy is 0 for 6. Here's the other one. This is the head scratcher. I think he's in the lineup because of his defense, and they want to try to keep runs off the board. Ramon Laureano, he's 0 for 10. 4 strikeouts. 0 for 10. What are we doing here? But I get it. They want him in the lineup for his defense, and he gives you probably, I guess he gives you a better chance defensively than having Bandy in the lineup. But I kind of would have liked to have seen it because Laureano has not given us good at bats. Maybe he runs into one today. We'll see. He does have the 10 at bats, so he's due, isn't he? But man, 0 for 10. That's a scary number considering how bad he's looked already. If you told me Ozuna was 0 for 10, I'd be like, I ain't even worried about that, man. That's yesterday's news. But Laureano's look pretty bad. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to get you the lineups. When we come back, pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Go for the sweep, baby. And y'all will notice if he gets into the game, Country Club members, we have a new emoji in the chat. It took me a while to find it last night, but I did find it because I do think there's a very good chance he gets in the game, because if you want to build a bridge from Ronaldo Lopez to the very back of the bullpen, Grant Holmes, the guy that came up the other day that I've been calling Kenny Powers. Well, we got the Kenny Powers emoji. You see Kenny Powers giving you the finger. So he looks like Kenny Powers. He's got the long hair, the whole 9 yards. We'll be back in a flash, Braves country. Braves, Tigers, let's get the brooms out.
Drink like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won Baseball World Championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same 3 criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Slam-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. A hanger, a banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung by a drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Reed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country. If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Play ball!
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing right field for the Detroit Tigers, it's Wenzel Perez, batting .253, 3 home runs, 17 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Batting second, playing second, Colt Keith, 3 home runs, 20 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .229. Batting third, playing center field for the Detroit Tigers, it's Riley Green. He has 14 homers, 37 RBI, batting .255. Mark Kanya, the designated hitter, batting cleanup with 6 home runs, 29 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .250. Gio Urshela is batting fifth and playing third. 2 home runs, 19 RBI, batting .278. Zach McKinstry is batting 6th and playing short. 1 home run, 8 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .177. Batting 7th for the Detroit Tigers today and playing first base, it's Andy Ibanez. 2 home runs, 16 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .273. Batting 8th and playing left field, it's Akil Baddoo. Baddoo, 25 years old, is 4 for 30 on the year, 1 home run, 2 RBI, 1 stolen base. And batting 9th, behind home plate, it's Jake Rogers. Rogers, 5 home runs, 11 RBI, batting .206. On the mound for the Detroit Tigers, it's Tarek Skubal. Tarek Skubal is 8-2 with a shiny 2.20 ERA and a 0.91 whip. 86 innings, 98 strikeouts, 62 hits allowed, just 16 walks, and 6 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Ronaldo Lopez. Raylo is 4-0 with a 1.69 ERA. His whip is at just 1.04, 69 in a third innings, 70 strikeouts, 50 hits, 22 walks, and 4 home runs given up. Backing up Raylo in the bottom of the first inning, leading off and patrolling center field, it's Jared Kelenic. Kid Kelenic has 6 home runs, 18 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .267. Batting second, playing second, Ozzie Albies, 5 home runs, 34 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .260. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna, 20 home runs and 63 RBI. He's batting .320 on the year. Batting cleanup and playing first for your Atlanta Braves, it's Matt Olson. The Ice House has 11 home runs, 38 RBI, batting .255. Batting fifth, playing third, Austin Riley, 6 home runs, 28 RBI, batting .240. Batting sixth and playing left, it's Adam Duvall. Duvall batting .171 on the year, 6 home runs, 18 RBI. Sean Murphy behind home plate has 1 home run, 4 RBI, batting .135. And batting eighth, it's Orlando Arcia. He has a .221 average with 6 home runs and 22 RBI. Ramon Laureano is batting ninth and playing right. 1 home run, 4 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .141. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate, it's Jeremy Riggs. First base will be manned by Dan Molino. Your second base umpire is Phil Cousy, and down the third base line, it's Tony Randazzo. Game time temperatures are supposed to be up around 80, partly cloudy skies here in Atlanta, Georgia in Truist Park. Your Atlanta Braves come in 40-31 on the year, 9 over 500. 23-13, 10 over 500 at home. The Detroit Tigers are 34-39 and 18-20 on the road. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 140 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Tigers, Game 3 of a 3-game set. Your Atlanta Braves look to pull out the brooms and go for the sweep today against one of the best pitchers in the American League. We'll do it behind the right arm of Ronaldo Lopez, and with the day off tomorrow, most of the bullpen available. Country Club members, we've got the Raylo emoji kicking in the chat. Warm up those chop arms. Braves Country, get your game face on.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Country. Time for a little roll call. Good afternoon, Country Club members. I see Charlie Pittman. I see Mark Ricardo. I see Gary the Real McCoy. I see the GOAT. If we've missed any Country Club members, jump into the chat and let us know you're here. Let us know where you're listening from. Also in Braves Country, I see Tim, Mr. Woodrow, Travis, John, and Dave Justice. About time you came back to Braves Country. Good to have you, Dave Justice. As your Atlanta Braves are ready for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. The win today, always a bit of a factor in these games, right? The win today is blowing in 13 miles an hour from left to right. Pretty consistent with what it's been all series long. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's not much of a chance of rain today. That is cloudy skies and pretty mild temperatures. 82 right now. They're expected to get up in the mid-80s. The wind's blowing pretty well, so pretty comfortable out there for the fans. The Braves come into today 8 back of Philadelphia and in the NL East. But as far as the wild card is concerned, well, we've made some headway. We're back up to 4.5 in front of St. Louis, 5 in front of Arizona. Those are your top 3 wild card teams. So we'd be hosting the Cardinals in the first round if that were to take place right now. And as far as the rest of the wild card goes, we'll get into that in 1 second. Braves are wearing their home whites. Braves on the chest, tomahawk underneath. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves Country. First pitch on the way from Ronaldo Lopez to Perez is up top for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires. Outside wide, 2-0. So a 2-0 count to start the game. Not exactly where you want to be. The 2-0 from Raylo. Right there at the knees. Nice curveball, 2-1. Braves nothing. Tigers nothing. Just starting here. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, 95 miles an hour. Evens up the count, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Perez, 253 on the year, 697 OPS. He does have 3 homers. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it down the line. 96 up top, out of play. We'll do it again, 2-2. Game 3 of a 3-game set. Braves took the first 2. All low-scoring games. Expect the same today. The 2-2. Swung on. That ball is swatted into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Duvall quickly gets it back in, but it's a leadoff single for the Detroit Tigers. Kind of hung it out there. That actually a pitch was out of the zone, but it was up high, and he was able to drive it into left. So 1 on, nobody out. First pitch on the way, swung on. That ball's lifted into center field, going over. Making the catch is Kid Kelnick. He drifts over just before the left center field mark, and before the warning track, there's 1 away. 1 down. That'll bring Riley Green to the plate. By far the best hitter in this Tigers lineup. Comes in with 14 home runs on the year. Raylo turns around and flips it over to first to keep Lopez close by. Or Perez close by, excuse me. Raylo, 8th pitch of the day. First one is a fastball swung on and fouled back out of play. Up against the screen behind home plate, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Lopez kicks and fires. Fastball nowhere near the zone. 1-1. He's been missing high all inning. Hopefully he can get that calmed down. So a 1-1 count, runner at first, one out, and double play would get us out of it, but both with good speed. The 1-1 drifts outside, change up, nowhere near the plate, 2-1. Standing on deck is Mark Kanya. Urshela is in the hole. The 2-1 pitch, down and in, runner goes, and he will be safe by a mile. Great jump. It's now a 3-1 count. They said the batter did not go around. The jump itself wasn't exactly the most extraordinary, but Raylo's got a kind of a slow delivery. And by the time he released the ball, he was halfway down the path. And man, Perez has got some wheels. Really accelerated. So a 3-1 to Green. Lopez in trouble here in the first. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 96 up top. Helmet came bapping off. It's a full count. The payoff pitch from Lopez. Swung on, swatted foul and out of play. 97 miles an hour. Braves nothing, Tigers nothing. Top of the first inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the high cheese. Couldn't lay off. 2 away. Big strike out there for Raylo. Now we're 1 out away from getting out of this mess. You can avoid it. You really don't want to fall behind Skubal. One thing, I went back and looked at some of his stats during the break. When they have been able to get to Skubal, it's in the very first couple innings. After that, he settles down like most greats, and it's hard to get to him. First pitch on the way is a slider right down the pipe taken by Kanya. It's 0-1. Kanya's shaking his head. I think he thinks he probably should have swung at that one. The 0-1 from Raylo. They set up outside. Down and away. Did he go around? They check down the line. First base umpire Dan Bellino says no dice. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty. The pitch on the way. Fastball misses up high, 2-1. Raylo really having a hard time spotting his pitches here in the early going. Get a 2-1 count. A lot of time these pitchers can figure out in between innings when they go for their warm-up tosses. So you hope you get out of here unscathed. The 2-1 from Raylo. Up top. Taken all the way. Ball 3, 3-1. Gio Urshela stands on deck. The 3-1 lifts and fires right there, 95 on the inner track, 3-2. So you got a 3-2 pitch. Runner at second. The infield is backing to the left. Here's the payoff. Swing, pops it up. Will it stay in play? Murphy gives chase behind home plate. Just going to drift into the crowd. About 7-8 rows back. Hey, Willis Mathis, good to see you. Some folks are late getting here. Jump into the chat. Let us know you're there. So a 3-2 count. Lopez comes set. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blew it right by him, baby. Let's grab the bats and jump on Skubal early. We'll be back in a flash.
Hey, check it out. A snow cone machine.
A snow cone machine?
No, you're saying it wrong. It's a snow cone machine.
I just found your old milkshake machine.
Oh, we're going to have to move the toaster.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Why is the dog on the counter?
He likes to be tall.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Joey Votto is one of the most patient, disciplined players in the game, and he could be a future Hall of Famer. He also has a ridiculously low pop-up rate over his career, which is at about 2%.
Between seasons, baseball's brightest stars supplemented their salaries on the vaudeville circuit. Outfielder Turkey Mike Donlin of the New York Giants married an actress and performed with her on tour. Cap Anson recited a monologue written for him by George M. Cohan. Even Christy Mathewson once played the Palace.
John McGraw, who had no act, he didn't sing, he didn't dance. Not that the other players necessarily did, but they tried. John McGraw would go on the vaudeville circuit in the off-season and simply be John McGraw. He would recite, he would answer questions. It was a sort of a Chautauqua form in a low-life territory.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Tarek Skubal is right there for a strike to Jared Kelenic. It's 0-1. The 0-1, lefty. Rips and fires outside wide, 96 miles an hour, 1-1. What you would hope is the game plan would be to get his pitch count up and get him the hell out of here, but we're not very good at patient batting normally. The 1-1, swung on, chopped foul, chase that one out of the zone, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing, fouls it down the line. Is he going to stay fair? He got into that one, going back, drifting, and right there at the warning track, I'm surprised he got around on that one. Making the catch in deep left field. Baddoo got turned around. It almost looked like he might have screwed that one up, but he got himself together and made the catch, one away. Deep fly ball. That'll bring Ozzie Albies. He'll be on the right side of the dish to start the game. Lefty-righty, open stance. First pitch on the way is well outside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Chase that changeup well out of the zone. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Skubal. Swing, fouls it straight back, 97, about letter high. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Swing, and that ball is sliced into right field. That's going to get through for a base hit. Hit them where they ain't, Ozzie. We got one on, one out. Maybe get a little bit of first inning magic like we did last night. We expect runs to be at a premium tonight, or this afternoon, I guess I should say. Sawed it off, but they were playing Ozzie to pull. There was a huge hole there on the 4-3. Ozuna comes to the plate. Lefty-righty. Pitch on the way high inside. 97 miles an hour. About helmet high. Didn't really come that close to hitting Ozuna, but he did bend out of the way because, man, that'll wake you up. The 1-0 to the Big Zoo. Kicks and fires. Swing. Fouls it back. 1-1. That may have been a purpose pitch. This is the first time Ozuna's ever faced Skubal. You get 97 cheese up around the eyelids. That'll get your attention. So a 1-1 count. High and out of the zone, 95 miles an hour. Good take by Zoo. It is interesting that Olson, who is a lefty, is 2 for 4 lifetime versus Skubal. The 2-1 pitch. Up high, ball 3-1. So like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, if you're going to get to Skubal, it appears that early on is where he has his troubles. 1 on, 1 out. And the 1 out was a hard hit ball. The 3-1 pitch. Outside, wide, ball 4. So a great at bat by Ozuna. He'll head on down to first. Keep on, keep it on. Let's keep that line moving. First and second, 1 out. Good to see you, Red Rum. Lefty-lefty matchup. Olson digs in. First pitch, 95 right down the track. It's 1-0. Wind is starting to calm down out there. It's still blowing left to right a little bit in. This would be a good time to tank one, Olson. The 0-1. Swing, and that ball's hit over to second. Line drive. Both runners will get back. Pretty hard hit ball, but right into the teeth of the defense. 2 away. You didn't see it. Trey Turner is back from the IL for the Philadelphia Phillies. Of course, they've lost JT Realmuto. They said today he has a planned day off today as they work him back into their lineup. So that'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Riley, first pitch outside, but called a strike. Okay. We're going to play that game all day. It's 0-1. Jeremy Riggs with the wide strike call. The 0-1. Riley, 6 home runs on the year, 3 in the past week. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That nasty changeup diving away. 0-2. That pitch has got to be damn near impossible to lay off of. You got to hope he just flattens it out and you get a piece of it. The 0-2 from Skubal. Outside wide. 1-2. You got a 1-2 count. Runners on first and second. 2 down. Atlanta nothing. Detroit nothing. The 1-2. Inside, gets him. Hits Riley in the elbow. Is he okay? Or hits him in the left arm. I believe it was the elbow. If it's the elbow, he might have dodged a bullet because he does have the padding there. He takes the padding off and heads down to first, so I believe he's okay. Double check where it hit him. Yeah, hit him up, well, above the elbow in the tricep area where that padding is. Still couldn't have felt good. That was the high heat. The only good news of that, assuming he's okay, is that the bases are loaded. You've got 2 outs. Adam Duvall comes to the plate. First pitch on the way to Duvall is a changeup down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. Hey, I'll take a freebie run. If he wants to walk Duvall or lightly hit him, I don't want too many of our guys getting that 97. The 1-0. Swing, hit hard on the ground, into the hole. Long throw. Here comes Duvall. They're going to say they got him by about a quarter step, and that'll end the inning. Man, was that an impressive play. McKinstry fired it. Now, give us 1 second. They're checking to see if they want to challenge it. Snicker, bit of a delay. They want to challenge it. So, all right, let's see what happens here. See if we get a better look at this. I was a little surprised that Duvall didn't beat it out, but that was a long throw. So long, I think if he's safe, it's because his foot came off the bag. we're getting an angle right now from second base, but I'd like to see an angle. If his foot stayed on the bag, he's out. Barely, by less than a quarter step. But I'd like to see is there a better view than what they're showing on the Braves broadcast? The Braves broadcast keeps showing the same one over and over again. And if that one is the only one they've got, it's not going to be enough to overturn them. In fact, that's the one that they're showing up on the Jumbotron at the park. What I want to know is it looks like his foot came off the bag. That's what I want to know. But I want to see I'd like to see a look either from home or from the right field area. Because the only way he's safe, that foot comes off, but does he touch it again? Are they going to have enough to overturn it? It's going to be the big thing. They probably have better looks at it because the production team for the Braves keeps showing the same one over and over again. Here comes the call. They're going to hold it up. I'm going to say it's just because they didn't have a good look. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
You know that thing that's in your head that tells you when it's time to stop talking? Where do you get those?
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Gene Autry was a man born in 1907 who you might know as the singer of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. On top of being a singer, an actor, and a soldier, Autry was also a fan of baseball. In fact, the man who sang Rudolph was also the man who founded the Angels. Who do you think is the player with the most Gold Glove awards? You might think of guys like Ozzie Smith, Brooks Robinson, or Willie Mays. But the actual answer is Greg Maddux with 18 Gold Gloves.
Is tomorrow Friday?
Yeah, why?
Because I think I'm going to get a little loose-goose. But more loose than the goose. Because the goose be violent.
Hey, Braves Country. This is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Y'all always want to say, get your lick back, get your lick back, get your lick back. If I get my lick back, I'm going to jail.
One summer day in 1908, a popular vaudeville entertainer named Jack Norworth boarded a Manhattan train and saw an advertisement that read, "Baseball Today, Polo Ground." He had never been to a professional game, but by the time he reached his stop, he had written out the lyrics for a song about baseball. When Norworth introduced the song in his act at the Amphion Theater in Brooklyn, it fell flat. But when Nickelodeon audiences were encouraged to sing along with lantern slides, it became a nationwide hit.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Yes, Snit's not really the one that makes the decision on whether or not you challenge as the first pitch on the way is a fastball right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. He is going off of Walt Weiss's conversation with the guys upstairs looking at the replay. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2. So in theory, he could challenge anything he wanted to, but he's going off of what they see because they've got a bad angle in the dugout, and they're not allowed to have live monitors there. The 0-2 pitch swung on. That ball's going to get dropped into left field just over the head of Arcia and in front of Duvall, and it's another leadoff single for the Detroit Tigers. Those eventually come home to roost. So Urshela is on with the leadoff single, and that'll bring McKinstry to the plate. McKinstry batting 177 with a 505 OPS. First pitch on the way is a curveball called for a wide strike. We'll take it. It's 0-1. McKinstry's 1 for 177 batting average. The 0-1 pitch. Swing. Slices it foul down the line. It's 0-2. Banya stands on deck. Baddoo in left field. If you remember Baddoo, a couple of years ago, he had a hot start when he first came up. He really has never panned out since. The 0-2 pitch. Up top. Just misses the zone. Would have loved that call, but it was a bit high. 1-2. Phillies are going for their own sweep today. They face the Padres a little later on. We'll keep you updated. The Reds and Pirates just got underway. 0-0 in Pittsburgh. The 1-2 misses wide. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Runner at first. Nobody out. Pretty good lead over there by Urshela, but nothing crazy. The 2-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. Raylo got that fastball working so far. One away. One down. Baddoo comes to the plate. First pitch is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, high and inside. It's 0-1. He started to step out of the way so quick you almost think he knew that was coming. Him and Raylo have beef. The 1-0. Swing. Pops it up high. Not very deep. Into left field. Fighting the sun with the sunshades on is Mr. Duval, and that'll be out number 2, F7 in your scorecard. We're going to do a series of these this week with the passing of Willie Mays. The question is going to be the best living starters, or the best living Hall of Famers in all of still left in baseball. His first pitch on the way to Baddoo is swung on, chopped foul down the first base side. It's 0-1. The 0-1. I had that flipped on my scorecard. That was McKinstry that flew out, or Ibanez that flew out. Baddoo is at the plate. The 0-1, lefty-righty. Outside wide, 1-1. So we'll put 4 up today, 4 up Friday, and then the 2 that win will be up for Saturday's. Unless we come up with 12 total, then we'll do the final one on Sunday. The 1-1, up high, 2-1. So we'll be putting that together here in a second. The 2-1, runner on first. 2 outs. Pitch way outside, wide slider misses. Ball 3, 3-1. Braves nothing, Tigers nothing. The 3-1 pitch, high and out of the zone, 95 miles an hour. Baddoo will take his walk-on down to first, and Rogers, the number 9 hitter, the hind catcher, who does have 5 home runs, comes to the plate. Murphy wants to go out there and talk to him real quick. You've got the top of the lineup due up with Perez. So you definitely want to go after Rogers here. Jake Rogers batting .206 with a .613 OPS. Has one of those Brillo pad mustaches for those of y'all listening on radio. First pitch on the way. Slider outside wide, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing. Fouls it back. It's 1-1. No. We won't put managers on this. The 1-1 pitch down below the knees. Right there, just missed. They said he did not go around 2-1. We did. We'd definitely be talking about Bobby Cox right now. So a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Foul back 2-2. Braves nothing. Tigers nothing. Top of the second inning. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. Raylo collects another strikeout. We head to break. Bottom of the second inning. 0-0. A pitcher's duel here in Atlanta.
Here we go again. I mean, good morning.
So I find myself in the what doesn't kill me, better run era. And just a warning, even I'm a little scared.
You didn't get 110, it's $20, two $10 bills. That's actually 100. I think the tooth fairy was drinking last night.
I don't know. You know, it seems like bad things are always happening to me. Like I have bad luck or something.
Son, you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. When Mickey Mantle was a young prospect, he went to St. Louis to try out for the Browns. But because of his scrawniness and overall unimpressive physical appearance, the Browns didn't even let him on the field. Little did they know, they had just turned away one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
People who long for the good old days before ball players got rich should have been a ball player back then. It was hard. They slept 2 to a bed often in the hotels. In fact, Rube Waddell's bunkmate required Connie Mack to put in his contract that Rube Waddell was not allowed to eat crackers in bed.
One of the crosses that Connie Mack had to bear was Rube Waddell of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. When he went to sign Rube to his first contract, he was met at the station in Punxsutawney by all the town leaders as he and Rube were about to get on the train. And Mack was terrified that they had come to tell Rube not to sign for so little money, or that they wanted to keep him for the local team. And one of them stepped forward and said, "Mr. Mack, we're here to thank you for getting him off of our hands."
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Put the poll up there for everyone. If you're listening on radio, you want to jump in, it's youtube.com/@BravesCountry, or if you're over in the Facebook world, you can jump into our YouTube and vote on it. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy from Scoobel is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The options that we put up there is the 1-0 lefty-righty, right down the pipe for a slider strike, 1-1. Question today is best of these living Hall of Famers. Johnny Bench, Ken Griffey Jr., the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, that ball's going to get dropped into left field. 1 on, nobody out. A very Smurfy hit indeed. Start the inning. Now I know these are going to be skewed. Probably should have just put a bunch of Braves in the first one. But Greg Maddux, Ricky Henderson, Ken Griffey Jr., and Johnny Bench are the choices today. First pitch on the way to RC is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. Slices it foul. 97 right there on his hands. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Runner at first. Nobody out. The 0-2. 97 inside, caught, looking, strike 3. Arcia takes a pause before he walks back to the bench. Doesn't like the call. It was a borderline. The guy like Scooble's going to get the benefit of that doubt. There was a pretty interesting conversation that I saw about if and when they go to the robo-ump. First pitch on the way is a changeup. Right there for a strike. Inside on Laureano, batting 141. It's 0-1. And the argument that I never thought about is the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base line, 0-2. If you do decide to put the robo-ump in there, they will still have the ability to overturn anything that's being called a strike if you're behind home plate. If you're the home plate umpire, it's up to you to take the guidance. But what will ring as a strike is the 0-2 to Laureano's high and out of the zone, 1-2. Is anything that goes through the zone, and realize that zone is 3D. It's not just cut and dry. So they were talking about the possibility of ephus pitches coming back, any kind of bending curve that comes through the zone, or like a Barry Zito 12-6, the 1-2. Swing, and that ball's hit hard down into the left field. That's down for a base hit. And Laureano has his first base hit. His first base hit against Tarek Skubal. He was 0 for 10 lifetime before this. You got to realize the robo-ump call is not going to, it's not going to indicate on your screen. You're not going to know what it is. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is high and inside, busting him back. It's 1-0. I think that's a direct response to when he drove that pitch on the outer part of the plate into left field. Skubal trying to get him back off the plate. The 1-0. Swing, fouls it away. 1-1. So it's not something that's going to pop on your screen or you're going to know as a fan or a player. It's going to be something that's going to be up to them. They're going to get a beep, say, hey, that's a strike, or hey, that's not a strike. And that's how they'll know. And it's up to them to go off of that. Now, you'll be able, the next thing would be to be able to argue the balls and strikes. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 97 up top, 1-2. But the idea of an ephus pitch or the long bender coming back, we don't see much anymore, like the Barry Zito 12-6, because anything that touches the zone is the 1-2 pitch, down and away, 2-2. It's going to beep. And so fans are going to argue that's not a strike, but if it touches any part of the zone going through, it'll go off. The 2-2 to Kelnick. Swung on, lifted high, not deep at all. In fact, it's going to die into the glove of the second baseman. A short pop fly, F4, 2 down. Two down. That'll bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. Ozzie, 1 for 1. He slapped a single through the right side of the infield his first time up. First pitch on the way to Oz. Swing, and that ball's laced into left field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Smurfy, and then it's a very Smurfy run. The Braves lead it 1-0 off the bat of the Wiz.
I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz, and nobody beats me.
So Braves 1, Detroit nothing, bottom of the second inning. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. Lefty righty, first pitch on the way, swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. You were with us last night. You know we got to keep trying to pound that ball. We got 2 runs in the first and didn't get anything else the rest of the game. So another run would be huge here. The 0-1 to Marcell, high and out of the zone, 1-1. Of course, a 3-run bomb wouldn't suck either. Let's get one of those. 1-1 count. Runner at third and first. The pitch, swing and a miss. 98 up top. It's 1-2. Laureano, pretty good speed standing there at third, and with a lefty on the mound, you do wonder, we ever going to get to see an attempt to steal home plate? The 1-2 pitch, Screwball fires, outside wide, 2-2. I mean, you're going to have to get a heck of a running start. If you could time it up on a left-handed pitcher who throws one in the dirt, that would be the ideal scenario. The 2-2 in almost in the dirt, 3-2. So a full count, which means Ozzy's going to be on the move. Anything that gets down into the gap would score 2 here. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Deuces are wild with the big zoo at the dish. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew a changeup, could not, almost looked like he had a hitch in his giddy up, couldn't time it up, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put one on the board. We'll be back in a flash.
Leave me alone. I'm a happily married man. There's no way you're happy. You have 2 kids. Your wife is a disaster. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I will show her this. She will divorce you. You will become my brother forever.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. AL MVP Shohei Ohtani was not only a great hitter in 2021, but also a solid pitcher. A stat to show this is that in high-leverage situations, Ohtani had the highest OPS as a hitter, and he held hitters to the lowest OPS as a pitcher. This means that Shohei was the clutchest hitter and pitcher.
George Edward Rube Waddell may have been the strangest man ever to play in the big leagues. A farmer's son from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. He possessed a fastball fearsome enough and a curve wicked enough to lead the American League in strikeouts for 6 straight years and to outpitch Cy Young for 20 innings. But it was his personality that most people remembered. He poured ice water on his arm before he pitched because he said otherwise he'd burn up the catcher's glove. And when he won a game, he sometimes turned cartwheels on the mound. He drank too much. The Sporting News called him the Southpaw, and he couldn't quite remember how many women he'd married. Between seasons, Waddell wrestled alligators and toured in a vaudeville melodrama, The Stain of Guilt. On the field, his attention tended to wander. Opponents could break his concentration by holding up puppies or bright, shiny toys. He loved fires, and when a fire bell clanged, he had to be restrained from leaving the game to chase the fire engine. Exasperated teammates and opposing players never knew what he'd do next, but fans loved him.
Welcome back. Ronaldo Lopez goes back to work with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch on the way is a bender outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing. Fouls it away. Wenzel Perez. 1-1. Perez led off with the single. Was stranded out there in the first inning. The 1-1. Swung on, lifted high, let bend out of play. It will, in between third and left, into the seats, 1-2. Braves 1, Tigers nothing. Home crowd hoping to see a sweep of the Tigers today. The 1-2 pitch swung on. That ball sliced foul. Do it again. Looking at the NL wildcard standings, so the Braves have the best record of all wildcard teams. They would host the first round. They're sitting at 40-31. The Cardinals are 5 games back in the loss column, the 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Arizona is 6 back in the loss column, and that would be your first round. It would be St. Louis coming to Atlanta, and Arizona taking on Milwaukee. The 2-2. Swing, and that ball's going to get laced into right center field, and that's down for a base hit. Kelnick cuts it off, and another leadoff single for Perez. So he's 2 for 2 for the day. On the outside looking in, it is a muddled mess in the National League. The only 2 teams that are out of it are Colorado and Miami. The rest of the National League, so 7 other teams, are within a game and a half of the last wild card spot. First pitch on the way to Keith is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. A half game out, San Francisco, the Mets, and Washington. 1 game out, San Diego, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. The 1-0 swung on, hit on the ground. It's going to be a 4-6-3 rally killing double play. Keith banged the slider over to second, and Ozzie with the good feed to Arcia, 2 away. So all these teams are just in a muddled mess. We're going to have a hell of a summer following this. The Cubs are a game and a half out, but I mean, they're all sitting right there. The Arizona, to give you an idea, Arizona has 37 losses. As the first pitch on the way is a curveball outside wide to Riley Green. It's 1-0. Arizona's 37 losses. The last wild card spot. The 1-0 down and away, 2-0. The Cubs, who are sitting all the way down in the 10 position, they only have 39 losses, so they're 2 losses behind Arizona. It's a much different scenario in the American League. The 2-0 swung on, fouled back out of play, 2-1. The wild card of the American League looks like this. You got Baltimore, Minnesota, and Kansas City as the 3 wild cards right now. Right behind that, 2 out is Boston, and then you have a big drop. The 2-1 pitch, right there at the knees, fastball, 2-2. Toronto, Detroit, Tampa, Houston, Texas are all within 5.5 to 7.5 out. And then after that, the other 3 are out of it. Angels, Oakland, and the White Sox. The 2-2 pitch swung on, chopped over to first. Olsen's got it. He'll step on the pillow, and that'll head us to break. Let's hit the bottom of third and get some runs, Braves country. We're up 1-0.
Exes be like, but I gave you the world. You gave me depression and a yeast infection. Shut the up.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. There have been 4 times where a player to be named later was themselves. For example, in 2005, John McDonald was traded from the Blue Jays to the Tigers for a player to be named later. 4 months later, the trade was completed when McDonald was reacquired by the Blue Jays as the player to be named later.
Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I just super daddied my pants.
What?
Shadoodled. I my pants, I think.
You don't have pants on.
Sunday would come and the little park would be packed way before game time. Everybody wanting to see the great Rube Waddell pitch. Nowhere to be found. Manager'd be having a fit. And then just a few minutes before the game time, there'd be a commotion in the grandstand. You'd hear people laughing and yelling, "Here comes Rube! Here comes Rube!" And there he'd come right through the stands. He'd jump down on the field, cut across the infield, the clubhouse, taking off his shirt as he went. In about 3 minutes, he never wore any underwear. He'd run back out in uniform and yell, "All right, let's get him." Sam Crawford.
Pitch on the way. Matt Olson's high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Mark asks whether the National League is better than the American League. Not really, because if you look at the top of the American League is the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. I'd say the National League is more balanced is a fair assessment. The National League, the teams that are in the wild card, only one has a winning record, which is Atlanta. In the American League, the last team is the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. 1-2. In the American League, 4 of the wild card contenders are over 500. In fact, Baltimore's 47-25. They would be leading the National League by a landslide. The 1-2 pitch, outside wide, good take. Sinker on the outer edge, 2-2. Atlanta would be just barely above is the 2-2 pitch. Slice fouling out of play. Do it again. They would be just barely above Minnesota right now with the 563 win percentage. Minnesota is a 562. The 2-2 to Olsen. Outside wide, 99 miles an hour, full count. If you jumbled them all together, basically what you would get is a 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the slider, messed up his timing on that one away. Good pitch by Skubal. What you would get if you put both leagues together, 4 of the 6 wild cards would come out of the American League. But it depends on what your perspective is. The American League top dogs are much stronger than the National League, but the National League is much more balanced. First pitch on the way to Riley is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, and that ball's laced towards left center. That's going to get... it's in and out of the glove of Baddoo. Baddoo had the ball, drops it, and Riley comes around, and he's got himself a one-out double. Wow. Wow. Derek Skubal. See the question. That was his 52nd pitch. The ball, he could not secure it. It came out of his glove, and that's the key. You have to be able to transfer the ball from your glove to your throw hand. If you don't transfer it the way it did, if you're looking at the replay, it's snow-coned out at the end. First pitch on the way to Duvall is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Some might be wondering if why wouldn't you challenge that? The ball was secured. This isn't football. They don't just give you, as soon as you touch the ground, you're down. That ball's got to stay in your glove. The 1-0, slap back foul, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Skubal here in the third. It's a valid question, though. He is at 54, about to be the 55th pitch. If you could run that up, you might be able to chase him out of here. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 98 right down the pipe. Man, this kid is impressive. 1-2. Throws high gas into the upper 90s, and when you couple that with that slider that he'll throw every once in a while, the change in the sink, really hard to time him up. He throws that slider just 5% of the time, but that was the pitch he threw to strike out Olsen. The 1-2 pitch, Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider. 2 away. 2 down. Runner at second. Need any kind of a bleeder, a broken bat, seeing eye, anything here from Smurf. First pitch on the way is 95. On the outer edge, first strike, it's 0-1. Any way you shake it, Skewball's going to be up around 60 through 3 innings, which is a really high count. The 0-1, they set up inside. Inside, misses well inside, 98 miles an hour, 1-1. So a 1-0 count. Tarek Skewball comes set. The pitch. Swing, pops it up. Is it going to stay in play, giving chase over by the first base dugout? It'll just get into the crowd, probably 2 rows over the screen. 1-2. You got a 1-2 count. Lefty, righty. The pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball's lifted high into right field. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong. A 2-run shot. Your Atlanta Braves. 3. Detroit, nada. Here at the bottom of the third. A mighty smack over the track. Pitch on the outside edge that left about letter high, and he drove it. The right fielder, Perez, knew he wasn't going to get to it. He turned to see if it might go off that top part of the brick wall. First pitch on the way to Arcia is a 4-seam fastball, fouled back. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty, righty. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up, can of corn over to first. That'll end the inning. Thanks for hitting that like button. We're at the 100th century mark. That ends the inning, but not before Sean Murphy goes yard. It's 3-0. We head to the top of the 4th here in Braves country.
People would be like, damn, you're just so chill. I'm like, thanks, I gave up.
Lastly, before I open the bar in the morning, I always make sure to turn on the Coors sign, let people know we got Ice Delicious Coors in the bar, you know, and then that's the last thing I do.
That sign does not say Coors.
Come outside, come outside, come outside.
It's closed. It says closed.
Okay. Yeah, right, I can see that now, but, you know, you can't really read it from the inside.
You can't read it from the outside.
All right.
Today we're going to talk about crazy stats. Both Cecil and Prince Fielder ended their careers with 319 home runs. They both made their major league debuts at the age of 21. They both had 1 season with 50 or more home runs, 1 season with 40 or more home runs, and 4 seasons with 30 or more home runs. Exactly 40% of their hits went for extra base hits, and 22% of the balls they put into play were line drives. And that's not all. They also matched each other with 97 2-out home runs, 49 fourth-inning home runs, 29 fifth-inning home runs, and 18 ninth-inning home runs.
Players like Waddell, with their drinking, with their bad acting, with their inability to take their profession seriously, they came to baseball in its early years in very large numbers because baseball, though popular, was outside social norms. The instability of a career where you might work for a year or two and then be gone, the jumping from team to team, seemed to be suited toward individuals who couldn't fit as well in the rest of society. Now, it helped in the case of Rube Waddell and many of these other sociopathic figures, that in addition to being sociopaths, they also had incredibly strong arms or very good batting eyes.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Ronaldo Lopez is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Top of the fourth inning. The slider looked like it might have grabbed the edge, but did not get the call. 2-0. So back to that talk about the way it's a 3D strike zone or whatnot. That would have been a strike. The 2-0 swung on, popped up. High into right field, coming in, making the catch. One away, Laureano out in right. Thing you got to think about with that, if you're going to have a higher number of strike calls, that means you're going to have a lot lower scoring games. Is that something that they want to invest in? Now, there'll be quicker games, but I don't know if Major League Baseball wants to go to a bunch of 2-1 ball games every night. First pitch on the way. It's a four-seam fastball right down the pipe to Urshela, who's 1 for 1. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, slices it foul. Out of play, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Braves 3, Tigers nothing. Top of the fourth, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside wide, 1-2. The 1-2 swung on, and that's going to get dribbled up the middle underneath the glove of Ozzie Albies into center field. And it's a 1-out single for the Tigers. Worm burner that went in between short and second. Ozzie tried to get over there, couldn't quite get to it. One on, one out. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt to the number 6 hitter, McKinstry, who's 0 for 1. It's 0-1. Man, Philly's already threatened. They got the bases loaded in the first against San Diego. The 0-1. Slice foul back behind home plate towards the batting circle of the third base dugout. So an 0-2 count. Lopez turned back to look at the runner, sets up the pitch. In the dirt, good block by Murphy. 1-2. So 1-2 count. See another gift membership coming through. The welcome to the Country Club. 1-2 pitch. Inside. This is 2-2. So the 2-2, righty lefty, swing and a miss, 97 up top. Got him. The strikeout, 2 away. Nice pitch, 97 up top. Wow. If you're just joining us, the big home run by Murphy, it was with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Riley had just barely gotten on with the ball that Baду had dove for in left field. It popped out of the glove, snow coned, rolled out of his glove. So he kept the inning going. Is the 1-0 pitch up there top of the zone for a strike, 1-1. Duvall came up and got out. And then the next Batter was Murphy, and on a 2-strike pitch, slams one over the right field wall. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 96 down the track, 1-2. The 1-2. Outside wide, 4-seam fastball, 2-2. The 2-2 from Lopez. Swung on, lifted into right field. That's going to barely get down for a base hit. Laureano, quick on the play, cuts it off. Fires it into the infield. Good defensive play by Laureano. Not really sure why the runner held up for a second. There were 2 out. Maybe he was kind of Cadillacing. I think maybe he thought it was going to be caught. So that may have saved the Braves a base there. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch on the way to Baddoo, who walked his first time up. It's a curveball in the dirt. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss over the top. Good pitch, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty-lefty pitch swing, and that ball swatted to right field. Going back, making the catch is Laureano, and that'll end the inning. So Raylo dodges trouble. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Laureano in the top of the order, leading 3-0.
Do you want me to get you a drink?
No, it's 8:30 in the morning. What is wrong with you?
But we're at the airport.
Oh, that's right. No, I already have one. I'm good. Thanks.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Why does Kenley Jansen wear the number 74? Jansen was one of the best closers of the 2010s, but things haven't always been good for Kenley. When he was 12, his father suffered a stroke and he couldn't work anymore. As a result, his mother Bernadette had to work day and night to support the family. She would tell Kenley and his siblings that everything was okay when they were actually in deep financial troubles. Kenley knew about the family's issues, so he promised her he would do everything he could to fix their problems. At the age of 17, Jansen was a catcher and he signed with the Dodgers. He had a good arm but was struggling at the plate, so the Dodgers turned him into a pitcher. In 2011, the Dodgers gave him a major league contract worth $416,000. With no hesitation, Kenley sent the money to his family back in Curacao in order to help pay off the home's mortgage. That house in Curacao is on Kaya Kokolishi 74, and Jansen wears the number 74 to honor his family and his roots.
Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
In 1904, Waddell struck out 349 batters, a record for American League left-handers, but he was just too hard to handle. Though he was one of the greatest pitchers in baseball, his unreliability infuriated his teammates, and he was driven out of the big leagues and then out of the minors. Waddell contracted tuberculosis, helping victims of a flood, and died on April 1st, 1914, at the age of 37.
First pitch on the way to Laureano, swung on, and that ball is belted into the seats. Are you kidding me? That ball is toasted and roasted into the left center field seats. It's 4-0 Atlanta. 4:26. Ramon Laureano, who was 0 for 10, was the screwball. He must be back on the juice. 4-0 your score, bottom of the 4th. Wow. First pitch on the way to Kelenic was a strike, and the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss off the edge. It's 0-2. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Man, he carved him up quickly. Went away. Braves 4, Tigers nothing. He dropped a 94-mile-an-hour sinker, but that thing barely sunk it. Just kind of hung up there. Man, Laureano doesn't have much of a personality, does he? I was looking at the replay. He come by, barely gave handshakes, and when he goes in the dugout, kind of real low fives. Buddy, you're going to have to liven up. You're going to stay around Braves country. The 0-1 to Ozzie. Inside, did that get him? That did get him. Is he okay? Ozzie's walking off, holding his elbow. Oh, that is not what we need here. He has been hurt so many times. Screwball's been throwing in on these guys all day long. I think it might be time for a little retribution here. The training staff's going to come out and look at him. You know Ozzie doesn't want to come out. That ball got him. Which elbow did he get? I think it was the back. Yeah, the right elbow. He's batting right-handed today. Got him to the bottom of the right elbow. Just clipped him. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Thankfully, we got the day off tomorrow. Can't keep losing these guys out of the order. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Swung on. Chopped it foul off his back leg. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty righty. Kicks and fires. Outside wide 89-mile-an-hour slider, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Runner at first, one out. We're starting to get some weather here in the area. Hopefully it won't affect anything. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 97 up top, 1-2. I was expecting a really low-scoring game where we didn't hardly have any big hits. This has been a fun one so far. Stay away, Mother Nature. The 1-2. Scooble brings it high and out of the zone, 99 miles an hour, 2-2. So we're sitting here in the bottom of the fourth. There's one out, a 2-2 count. Scooble is at 73 pitches. The 2-2 brings it way outside, wide ball, 3-2. So a 3-2 count, I always, whenever someone says funny bone, there's a buddy years ago. Everybody knows I'm a chef and whatnot. We were in the kitchen and someone hit their funny bone. I mean, hit it hard, the 3-2 pitch. Outside wide ball 4. He'll head on down to first. And it was just his inflection, the way he said it. He smacks his funny bone, and someone was responding. They weren't being mean. They were saying, man, are you okay? He goes, yeah. And he's like sitting there shaking his arm. He goes, I think I got you in the funny bone. And just as soon as he said it, and I always laugh when I started laughing to myself when I saw Goat's comment, because I can't get that out of my head. As soon as he says, man, you probably just hit yourself in the funny bone. The guy that hit in the funny bone, red as a beet, top of his lungs, yells out, well, it's not effing funny. But I cleaned it up there. The whole kitchen fell out laughing. And he got mad, stormed out, and you could still hear him in the back yelling, it's not effing funny, quit laughing. They went out there to talk to Scooble. Everyone's back in their positions. First and second, one out. Scooble turns around, and they're going to throw it down to third. Ozzie caught everybody napping, and he steals home, essentially. As the ball was thrown over to third, It goes into the foul territory. Ozzie took off running because they were playing so far back on Olsen. And I'm sure they were also probably fell asleep because the 5-0 your score. Change up on the way, bang foul down the first base line. So, well, let me try to clean that up. Ozuna's now in scoring position at second. Ozzie caught everybody napping, took off to steal third. He was going to be safe by a mile. Schoolball tried to get him, and he threw the ball into foul territory. And he came home to score. The 0-1, swing and a miss up top. It's 0-2. Essentially, they were so, Ozzie doesn't run that often, but we all know he's got great speed. They were probably fixated on the fact that A, who was at the plate, and B, Ozzie had just gotten hit and was wincing a little bit. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Braves lead at 5-0. Man, we could break this thing wide open with Raylo on the mound. If Olsen gets a hold of one here. He did come into today 2 for 4 lifetime against Skubal. The 1-2 to the ice house. Swing and a miss. 98. Nice pitch. 2 away. Two down. Sure, those of y'all that listen to the pregame probably think, well, man, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy sucks. He's giving a 5. I'm telling you, Skubal is one of the best pitchers in baseball. When he's on, he's on. And he very well could win the Cy Young. Speaking of American League Cy Youngs in general, is the first pitch on the way to Riley. Four-seam fastball, knockback foul. It's 0-1. Garrett Cole will make his season debut tonight versus the Orioles. If you're bored and you want to watch something, that ought to be a fun game to watch. Garrett Cole in Yankee Stadium making his debut. The 0-1, down and away, 1-1. The other great news about that, if you want to think about it, we're going to dodge Garrett Cole. He's pitching today. Let him pitch today. I want no part of that. The 1-1 to Riley. Swing, pops it back foul. 1-2. Last year when we had all of our ducks in a row and all the motors running and our offense was clicking on all cylinders and breaking all kinds of records, I would welcome any matchup against a Garrett Cole type because it was fun to see, especially when you're running away with the division. But this year, I'll gladly miss it. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss over the top. Strike 3. That'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 2 more on the board. Loriata goes yard, and Ozzie steals us a run.
If I ever say, do you want me to be honest? You might want to just say no.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Excuse me, what the hell's going on out here? Well, Nook's scared because his eyelids are jammed and his old man's here. We need a live rooster? We need a live rooster to take the curse off Jose's glove, and nobody seems to know what to get Millie or Jimmy for their wedding present.
Today we're going to talk about crazy stats. BJ and Justin Upton both hit their 99th career home runs on the same day, July 20th, 2012. They would follow that up with their 100th career home run on the same day, August 3rd. In between the home runs, they both had 7 hits, 6 singles, and an extra base hit.
I love
watching closely what I think is this psychological duel between the pitcher and the batter, as well as a physical duel, knowing that each one is anticipating what the other one is going to do, and that one of them is going to win, one is going to lose. I mean, that's what's so wonderful about it. I mean, people who don't understand baseball think about, well, what is it, these 9 guys on the field? If you love it at that moment, it's just as exciting as a heavyweight boxing match. These 2 people are dueling each other, and with all of their memory of the other person, and the great pitchers and the great batters have studied the other person. That's what's so wonderful.
Welcome back. Ronaldo Lopez, now with a 5-0 lead. First pitch on the way to Rogers, is swung on, belted into center field, going back on the track, making the catch at the wall. A running catch by Kid Kelnick. JK one away. Man, I thought that thing was going to keep carrying. Sometimes you kind of fall asleep at the wheel and realize you got one of your best pitchers up there. You got a 5-0 lead. It's time to coast, and someone swats one. Next thing you know, the dam breaks. First pitch on the way to Perez is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. 1 down, top of the 5th inning. Winfield Perez is 2 for 2, 2 singles and a stolen base. The 0-1 swing, rifles it foul. They got a piece of Murphy. I think he's okay. San Diego leads Philly 1-0. I don't know how they got out of that bases loaded jam, but I'm sure they'll find a way to blow that lead. They're in danger of getting swept by the Mets and Phillies in consecutive series. The 0-2, outside, high and wide, 1-2. And kind of back to the point where we were talking about earlier about the wild card, because it's so close in the National League with all these teams, you go on a losing streak like that, you can really take a hit if you're the Padres. The 1-2, sliced over towards third. It's going to be a dying quail into the glove of Austin Riley, 2 away. So they finally get him out. 2 down. You know it's going to be fun. I didn't realize it till I was looking at the pitching matchups this weekend. Chris Sale, the ex-Red Sox, going back into Yankee Stadium. That's going to be fun because I guarantee you he's got a hate for them. First pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Colt Keith. It's outside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, slices it foul. Down the line, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Top of the 5th, 2 out. Pitch from Lopez, swung on, chopped over to third. Riley's got it, fires it across the infield. It's a perfect throw, but it looks like the runner beat the throw. Riley had a long way to go, and he needed a perfect throw to make it close, and that's exactly what he delivered. But it looks like Keith just beat it. We don't have a challenge in our pocket anyways. Man, is that close. In fact, he's out. But if they hadn't have blown that first one, we'd be able to challenge it. So that's the risk you take. First pitch on the way from Lopez. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Can't blame first base umpire Bellino on that one. That was within an eyelash of being safe. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1. If you're wondering how umpires make those close calls like that, they're going off of sound, not sight, essentially. They're looking at the bag to see if you hold the bag, but they're listening to hear the pop of that glove versus the foot hitting the bag. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. You got a 2-1 count. Riley Green, who's 0 for 2, but he's got 14 home runs on the year. The pitch. Swing and a miss over the changeup, 2-2. So Mr. Lopez is 1 strike away from getting out of this. Braves lead at 5-0, top 5. The 2-2. Lopez brings it. Swing, slices it foul back behind home plate into the stands. You got a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on. That ball is going to get dropped into center field. That's down for a base hit. Laureano cuts it off, flips it into the infield, but runners are at first and third and 2 outs. We were an eyelash away from getting out of this inning. And now runners on the corners, and one swing could change this game drastically. Two outs, and Mark Kanya, he has 6 home runs on the year, stands at the plate. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, righty-righty matchup. Lopez at 88 pitches. First one on the way, right there for a strike. I'm sorry, 86 pitches. Now 88. They've changed that number 3 times. I'm going to go with 88, the 0-1 pitch. Let's get the real number over here. On the way, swing, sliced it foul, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. He is officially at 90 pitches. It says 89 on the screen, but it is officially at 90 pitches. The 0-2. Lopez comes set, brings it. Swing, sliced it foul. We'll do it again. Of the 91 he's thrown, 58 for strikes. Lopez, if he can keep it right here, he's dropped his 1.69 ERA. Right now it's at 1.58. I think it would go to 1.57 if he holds this. The 0-2. Tried to get him to chase a bender outside wide. Slider misses. 1-2. So on that long slider, the runner at first steals second. So now a single cuts this to a 5-2 game. The Braves infield is got a huge hole on the right side. The 1-2 pitch. Caught, looking, strike 3. Thankfully, because if he slaps that to the right side, we got trouble. We'll be back in a flash. Raylo with his 6th strikeout of the day. Braves lead at 5-0.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. The San Francisco Giants were very close to becoming the Toronto Giants. In 1976, Giants owner Horace Stoneham sold the team to a group of companies in Toronto. The Toronto Giants were set to debut later that year, but a U.S. court stopped the deal. After hearing the news, a man named Bob Lurie bought the Giants and kept them in San Francisco.
What's the best part of being a Mets fan?
To be honest with you, the character development, it really builds you for the rest of your life because it's such a miserable franchise. A lot of peaks and valleys with this team.
So if that's the best part, what's the worst part?
Probably May through September.
Myers bringing it, and the pitch is hit in the air, foul, off first, Benzinger backing and calling, and the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Bell, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
On August 2nd, 1907, I encountered the most threatening sight I ever saw on a ball field. He was only a rookie, and we licked our lips as we warmed up. Evidently, manager Pongo Joe Cantillon had picked a Rube out of the cornfields of the deepest bushes to pitch against us. He was a tall, shambling galoot, with arms so long they hung far out of his sleeves and with a sidearm delivery that looked unimpressive at first glance. One of the Tigers imitated a cow mooing, and we hollered, "Get the pitchfork ready, Joe. Your hayseed's on the way back to the barn." The first time I faced him, I watched him take that easy wind-up, and then something went past that made me flinch. The thing just hissed with danger. We couldn't touch him. Every one of us knew we'd met the most powerful arm ever turned loose in a ballpark, Ty Cobb.
Welcome back. Braves lead at 5-0. We start the bottom of the fifth with Adam Duvall leading off, and Tarek Skubal is gone. We have run him from the game. Skubal, how about that? Guy who, if the season ended today, he may have won the AL Cy Young. 4 innings, 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 home runs served. The 1-1 from Englert. Swung on, chopped over towards short. It's going to be a tough play. Coming, the ball is thrown into the dugout. What? Let's get it, baby. Duvall should be heading down to second. He's got to take all his equipment off. That ball went into the dugout. He's standing at first. I don't know if somebody's got to tell him. The ball was sailed into the dugout. And I think it hit the lady that is down there covering the dugout information. I think it hit her umbrella, so she appears to be okay. Duvall heads down to second. Nobody out. Smurf comes to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss. Strike, it's 0-1. So Duvall gets on via the error. This is the 6th error in this series by the Detroit Tigers. The 1-0. Righty. Englert kicks and fires right there at the knees. 1-1. He had plenty of time to get the ball off, but it was going to be a close play. He sailed it off of his front foot, and that ball just went flying in the dugout. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Ball gets away, and Duvall's going to make it on down to third. Five nothing your score. Duvall booking it. 90 feet away from yet another run. The infield is in. The 2-1 from Mason Englert. Swing, and that ball's belted. High and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ding dong, that pitch is dead. Sean Murphy, his second 2-run home run of the day. Braves 7. Tigers nada. Bottom of the fifth. Englert comes in, gives up 2 runs instantly. One will be unearned. First pitch on the way to Arce is a swing and a miss strike off the edge. It's over. Wow. He didn't miss that one. That was put on a tee for him. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the edge. 0-2. This score holds. I think we got our player of the game, Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy, we all know, has been struggling at the plate. He has 3 hits. 3 for 3. 2 home runs and 4 RBI. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. 1-2 count. Hot day here in Atlanta on getaway day. Bet Detroit's thinking, can we just go ahead and go to the airport now? The 1-2 pitch swung on, chop foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. They do have a pitching duel going on. It's 0-0 in the 6th. The 1-2, high and out of the zone, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, chopped down the third base line. We'll do it again. Orlando Arcia, Ozuna, and Ulcer, the only ones without hits today. Who had Laureano with 2 hits on their bingo card versus Skubal? The 2-2. Swing. That ball's hit high, not very deep, into left field. Bending over, making the catch. 1 away. F7 if you're scoring at home. Hit the out-of-town scoreboard here real quick here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Braves leading at 7-0. Other action going on. Got a full slate of baseball today. A lot of day games. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, 0-0 in the 6th. St. Louis and Miami, 2-2 in the 5th. First pitch on the way to Laureano is changeup misses. It's 1-0. San Diego leads Philly 1-0. They are in the 3rd. All the other games are coming on a little later. The 1-0. Outside wide 2-0. San Francisco and the Cubs, they begin here in about 30 minutes. Hendricks versus Miller, the wind's blowing out in that game. The 1-1. Outside wide 2-1. .405 first pitch, Arizona versus Washington. Fott versus Corbin. The 2-1 pitch, right down the hatch, 2-2. Got a lot of games tonight. Seattle and Cleveland, 6:40. The Yankees is a 2-3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Make that strike 2. They had it wrong on the screen. So a full count. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. All right, like deja vu. Tonight, Yankees are at home against Baltimore. Povich versus Cole. That is a tough matchup for a rookie to have to go into Yankee Stadium and nonetheless go up against Garrett Cole, his season debut. Boston, Toronto, Bayo versus Gausman. 2 down, and Kid Kelnick comes to the plate. Kelnick, first pitch is right there at the knees for a strike. Low strike, it's 0-1. Tampa Bay is at Minnesota tonight, 7:40. Mets, Texas, 8:05. Houston, Chicago, White Sox, 8:10. Is the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Brewers are at the Angels. Royals are at Oakland. And the Dodgers are in Colorado. The 0-2, outside wide 1-2. Did y'all see the controversial ending last night to the Dodger-Colorado game on the check swing that was not called a check swing, and then Hernandez hit a 3-run shot? The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball slapped into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Kid Kelnick is winding first. He'll head on into second. It's a 2-out double for the kid. They were going ballistic on social media about that. It wasn't as bad of a call as people are letting it out to be. But because it would have been strike 3 and would have ended the game, this is a game where the Rockies led 9-4 going into the 9th. People lost their mind on it, but it was such a close call. And once again, we've talked about this before, there's no clear definition to a check swing strike. It's a little strange, but it's true. First pitch to Ozzie is banged foul down to first. 0-1. It is up to the umpire's judgment call if he thinks he offered at the pitch. And that's all it says in the rule book. Doesn't say the bat has to go here, here, or here. Just says, did he offer? The 0-1 pitch. Swung on. That ball's laced into right field. That's going to get down. Did he make the catch? Did he trap it? Now they're going to say he made the catch, and that'll end the inning. pretty nifty play out there by Perez. Thought it was going to get down under his glove, but he held on. We'll be back in a flash. Braves lead it 7-0.
People say, you're too old to be fighting. Well, you're too old to be talking to someone like me because I will punch you in your damn throat.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I understand that we're not friends anymore. Okay, look, man, you brought this on yourself. I know I did, but that's no reason for me to suffer.
Why did Robin Ventura charge the mound against Nolan Ryan? Robin Ventura getting beaten by Nolan Ryan in a headlock is absolutely iconic. But why did Ventura think it was a good idea to go after Ryan? Pudge Rodriguez has gone on record saying that the White Sox and Rangers had bad blood for years, even as recently as the previous series between the two teams. The inning before the fight, White Sox pitcher Alex Fernandez plunked Ranger outfielder Juan Gonzalez. When Nolan Ryan got on the mound, he retaliated by hitting Robin Ventura. Ventura felt that it was intentional, so he decided to go for it. After the game, Nolan Ryan claimed innocence, saying, "I didn't expect that to happen. I was just trying to pitch him inside." Ventura, on the other hand, felt it was 100% intentional, saying, "If you don't think he did it on purpose, you don't know the game."
New York writers were determined to make Christy Mathewson the best pitcher, the pitcher hero of all time. And in that sense, they were tended to ignore Walter Johnson. They couldn't do this because Walter Johnson surpassed Mathewson in so many ways. If Walter Johnson were pitching for a team that had the winning percentage of Mathewson's Giants, there would have been no contest.
Welcome back. Atlanta Braves lead this one 7-0. We head to the top of the sixth. It's going to be Aaron Bummer coming on. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on. That ball sliced right to Ozzie. L4 in your scorecard. One away. Yeah, Sean Murphy definitely will get the game ball unless something just out of the ordinary happens in between now and the end. I can't remember who it was that said Max Scherzer is coming back this weekend for Texas. Was that Mark? Anyways, man, I got to see him to believe him because I think he's done. First pitch on the way. It's a sinker down below the knees, 1-0. He can't constantly tell you it's because he's injured that he's getting hit hard because it's been like that for 3 years. The 1-0. Swung on, hit hard on the ground, right to Riley. A one-hopper, fires it across the diamond, quickly 2 out. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he comes back from this injury, he looks lights out. But he's got to make it a solid 5 to 7 starts before I start believing in Max Scherzer. I think he's at the point now where if he's on your playoff roster, you're looking at him. Best case scenario is a Charlie Morton type where the first pitch from Bummer on the outer edge for a strike is 0-1, where you're hoping to get two times through the lineup and get him the hell out of there. Banez, 1 for 2. Lefty righty, the 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Remember covering that World Series, and I still say the Texas Rangers won that World Series despite having him on the roster, not because he was terrible. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. He kept saying that he could be out there again, and you can tell the look on Bochy's face because, man, I don't care if this series goes 14 games, you are not pitching. Not again. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. That'll close the books, by the way, on Raylo. Didn't go as deep as he would like to, but that's all right. We got the run support, and hopefully the bullpen can hold this. 5 innings. He did give up 7 hits. The 2-2. Swung on, chopper in front of the mound. Bummer's got it, fires it over to first. Bad throw in the dirt, and he'll be safe. 1 on, 2 out. Ball was it was pretty much halfway between home and first. Honestly, the guy who's got the best chance to make the play is Murphy. I like how Murphy's pointing to first. Like, where the hell else is he throwing it? There's nobody else on. But Murphy, if Bummer doesn't get in his way, and Murphy's got a much better chance of making that play. First pitch on the way, lefty, swung on, swatted off his instep. It's 0-1. Because Bummer, the left-handed pitcher, has to come off the mound against his body weight that's taking him towards home plate, turn, spin, and fire it as a left-hander. The 0-1, 94 just below the knees, 1-1. Whereas Murphy, the right-handed catcher, can come up and just scoop and fire it. He should have waved off Bummer, but might have looked at it as too little too late. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Chopped foul. Back behind home plate. 1-2. Braves looking to get out of this inning unscathed. We got 1 on. Braves lead at 7-0. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The bat goes flying. That'll end the inning. That bat landed out there near Matt Olson. So they get 1 on, but we shut it down. Heart of the order coming to the plate, bottom of the 6th.
Coming out of retirement for this one.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Buddy, I don't know who you are. You're about to get chlamydia.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Billy Wagner is possibly the best left-handed reliever of all time. Despite being a lefty, Wagner was born a natural righty. At the age of 7, he broke his right arm not once, but twice. While recovering, Billy learned to throw left-handed, and the rest is history. You might think that the St. Louis Cardinals are named after the bird, but that's not the case. In 1899, a reporter named Willie McHale overheard a woman talking about the, at the time, St. Louis Perfectos uniforms, saying that they were a lovely shade of cardinal. Fans liked the moniker Cardinals, and the name stuck.
Armchair.
Washington manager Joe Cantillon had received a report about a 19-year-old pitcher said to be tearing up the Idaho State League. This boy throws so fast you can't see him, the scout said, and he knows where he is throwing because if he didn't, there would be dead bodies all over Idaho. Walter Perry Johnson was a modest country boy from Humboldt, Kansas, with broad shoulders, long arms, and a curious motion that delivered the ball faster than any other pitcher had before him, and perhaps none has since. Still, he was cautious. Before signing up, he asked for a return ticket home, just in case things didn't work out back east. Things did work out. Johnson hurled the ball so fast that one batter left the box after 2 swings. The umpire told him he had a 3rd swing coming. I know, he said, and you can have the next one. It won't do me any good. There's only one way to time Johnson's fastball, said Bertie McCree. When you see the arm start forward, swing. Another batter simply shook his head. You can't hit what you can't see.
In the words of the umpire, Billy Evans, he said, was it hard to call a game that Walter Johnson was pitching? And he said, well, it wasn't really that hard. They wouldn't second guess me because not only were my eyes closed, their eyes were closed too.
Welcome back. Marcelo Ozuna comes to the plate. First pitch on the way to Zoo. It's a swing and a miss strike. Change up on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Slider away. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Those of y'all on radio, folks talking in the chat, there's a belief that one of our listeners is a jinx, especially to the offense. The 0-2 pitch swung on, pops it up. High, just past the infield. Drifting back, making the catches, Urshela went away. And one of our country club members, Charlie, just realized that he is not here today, and that's insinuating that's why the Braves are up 7-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. You might be onto something. You better not make too good of a case of that. Goat will end up blocking them from the channel. First pitch on the way to Olsen is a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right there above the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-lefty. Swing, sliced it straight back. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Braves 7, Tigers nothing. Bottom of the 6th. The pitch way high outside wide. About that time to start turning back time. The 1-2 pitch to Olsen. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Here it comes. Down below the knees. Outside. 2-2. On this date, in 1846, Alexander Cartwright's New York Knickerbockers played the first game to an opposing club. The 2-2. Swing, and that ball's lifted high into center field. Not very deep coming in. Running in. Making the catch. Riley Green, 2 away. So this is officially the first contest that's looked upon as organized baseball. The contest in which the New York Knickerbockers will lose 23-1 to the New York 9 and Elysian Fields Club in New Jersey. They were a cricket team. The contest is the first pitch right there to Riley's for strike. It's 0-1. The contest considered the first organized baseball game to use Cartwright's rules, which are the rules essentially what we use today. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Which featured foul territory outs made by tagging runners not being soaked, as they used to call it, where you just threw and hit the guy, and 3 outs per side. That's on this date in 1846. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. You got to realize that's 15 years before the Civil War. A lot of folks credit the Civil War really growing the game of baseball, because during the downtime, if you can imagine this, when there weren't battles being played, the 1-2 pitch swung on. That ball smoked into left field. That's down for a base hit. And Austin Riley gets himself a hit. He's really seeing the ball well right now. Second hit of the day. The Civil War was going on. A lot of these troops, when they had downtime, they were playing baseball in the fields. Adam Duvall comes to the plate. First pitch down and in. It's 1-0. There's a clip somewhere where they're talking about there's a game going on during the Civil War, and the team being bummed out that not only did they lose their center fielder, but they lost their only ball in the battle. Which is such a warped way to look at it. 1-0. Swatted foul down the third base side. 1-1. Into the dugout. So a 1-1 count. Braves 7, Tigers nothing. Bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 from Englert. Swing and a miss. 1-2. He's been asked to come on and do yeoman's work. 41 pitches. Mason Englert from Forney, Texas. Drafted by the Rangers in 2018 in the 4th round. 6'4". He doesn't look that tall. 6'4", 254. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Duvall chased that one well off the edge, and that'll end the inning. Braves 7, Tigers nothing. We head to inning number 7.
I'll be late for work again. That's the 5th time I've been late this week. It's only Tuesday.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
JD.
So's your face.
That doesn't even make any sense.
So's your face always makes sense.
JD, that's stupid.
So's your face. I'm on fire. Hello!
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Bob Feller was one of the best and most feared pitchers of all time, especially because of his fastball. As a teenager, Feller was already a famous prospect. At the age of 16, a scout offered Feller a contract of $1 and an autographed baseball, which Feller accepted.
Walter Johnson's record of 110 shutouts still stands. He once held the New York Highlanders scoreless 3 times in 4 days. And although he rarely had the backing from the Senators that he deserved, he managed to win 417 games over his career and to win 20 or more games for 10 successive seasons. The relentless velocity of his pitching won him the nickname Big Train.
Sometimes he's referred to as a legend. He isn't a legend. A legend, according to Webster, has yet to be proved. It's a bit mythical. There's nothing mythical about Walter Johnson. He existed and was probably the best pitcher of all time.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Welcome back. Those of y'all watching the Braves cast, y'all ever notice the only time they show you a Philadelphia Philly highlight is when Bryce Harper hits a home run? First pitch on the way from Bummer is hit down the line, just foul, it's 0-1. You rarely ever see them show anything else. Like Braves Country wants to see that. Philly and San Diego are tied at 1 there in the bottom of the 4th. Ranger Suarez on the mound today versus, I believe Waldrop was on the mound for the Padres. The 0-1, right there, first strike 0-2. Curious to see how long they go with Bummer. I'm kind of hoping we get to see Grant Holmes come out of the pen, but they may not want to use him. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Wenzel Perez is on deck. And he's a switch hitter. And Keith is a lefty. He's in the hole. The 1-2. Down and in 2-2. Riley Green is a left-hander. He would be after Keith. So they may be trying to get Bummer past them. The 2-2 from Aaron Bummer. Did he go around? Looked like he did. He did not, says first base umpire Dan Berlino. Full count. Oh, that looked like he went around. So the payoff pitch from Bummer brings it. Swung on, chopped over to third. Fair ball. Riley's got it. Fires it over to first. And it's a 5-3 put out. 1 away. Big out number 1. The last thing you want to do is start giving free bases away at the beginning of the inning, especially with the top of the order coming up. So Wenzel Perez will come to the plate. He's 2 for 3. Both hits coming from the left side. Bummer brings it. First pitch on the way, nowhere near the zone. 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty, righty. On deck, Keith in the hole, Green. The 1-0 pitch. Right there at the knees. Sinker, 1-1. President liked the call. It was borderline. Braves infield is back. They need to watch out for anything that's hit soft, and there's a softball hit over to Ozzie. He charges it, flips it over to first. 2 away. 2 down, and in a perfect world, Colt Keith will be the last out of this inning. They may bring Bummer to come out and face Green to start the 8th. But you would think at 22 pitches, if you can get him out of here and get him done, you may need Bummer for the weekend. First pitch on the way. Sinker down and away. It's 1-0. Colt Keith is 1 for 3 on the day, batting .230. On this date in 1941, one of the greatest summers in baseball, Joe DiMaggio, Joltin' Joe, goes 3 for 3 against the White Sox to extend his hitting streak to 32 games. The 1-0, outside wide, 2-0. The Yankee Clippers' perfect day at the plate, which includes 2 singles and a home run, contributes to the Yankees' 7-2 win over the White Sox at Yankee Stadium. That was in 1941 on this date. The 2-0 is right there at the knees. 2-1. So 2-1 count. Pitch on the way. Nowhere near the zone. 3-1. Missed with the sweeper. Cubs and Giants just got underway in Wrigley. They're in the top of the first. Kyle Hendricks pitching for the Cubs at 3-1. Right there at the knees, 3-2. So Bummer trying to fight his way back. He's got a full count to Keith. 2 outs, top of the 7th. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one on the inner cut, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 7th inning stretch. Get up and stretch, Braves country.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the side. Find me something of Cracker Jack.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves lead this one 7-0. Don't think we're going to get. Yeah, that looks like Daysball Hernandez warming up in the bullpen. I want to see if we're going to get Grant Holmes, or Kenny Powers, as I like to call him. Sean Murphy comes to the plate. He is 3 for 3. First pitch on the way. Swings at a slider off the edge from Englert. It's 0-1. I don't know if Englert's being sent back down to the farm yet, but they are leaving him in there. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. Engler starting his third inning of work. He has thrown 44 pitches. The 1-1, right there at the knees, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Cincinnati-Pittsburgh, it's still scoreless in the 8th. Pitch on the way, swing, and that ball's rifled down the left field line. That's going to get down for a base hit. Sean Murphy, have yourself a day, sir. 4 for 4. Wow. Four for 4. Start here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch on the way to Arcia is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves 7, Tigers nothing. Bottom 7. The 1-0, way outside wide, 2-0. Sean Murphy, if you're just joining us, singled to left in the 2nd inning. Hit a 407-foot home run with Riley on base in the 3rd. That made it 3-0. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Then he followed that up with a 423-foot blast in the 5th with Duvall on base to make it 7-0. Just followed that up with a single here in the 7th. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped over to short. It's going to be a 6, 4, 3. Easy double play. Arcia is really turning into one of those rally killers in the lineup. If you notice, all of his swings, his foot is coming well out of the batter's box into foul territory to the left. He's trying to yank everything. And when he's hit well in the past, he's normally hitting a little more up the middle. He's always going to be a pull hitter. But normally he's a little more up the middle with his swings. And I've noticed that the last several weeks, he's just been opened up. So if he doesn't get a hold of it middle in, he's got no chance of keeping it fair. The 0-1 to Laureano, who hit a home run earlier. Swing, fouls it back. It's 0-2. And at this point, I don't think you can make any kind of argument other than having Orlando Arcia batting 9th. I mean, even when Laureano's in the lineup, I mean, he's gotten 2 hits today. The 0-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3. That'll end the inning. But the Braves lead at 7-0. We head to the 8th. Blooper's taking himself a little nap on the dugout. We'll be back in a flash.
All right, as you all know, we are headed into our busy season, so please let me know if you have any time off planned. I need to get that in as soon as possible.
I submitted a few days in February for a snowboard trip.
Kate, I saw that request come in. You should have received approval already.
All right, anything coming up for you, Brian?
Yeah, so I'm actually going on a backpacking trip through the Himalayas, so pretty excited. It's going to be like a few months.
Wait, did you just say a couple of months?
Yeah, well, it's actually technically 4, but unlimited PTO, right? I mean, per the employee handbook, so I figured, well, might as well use it.
Those requests have to come through HR.
Yeah, you can't just take a couple months off at a time. That's not how this works.
Well, now I'm stuck with a non-refundable Sherpa fee, so not sure how we want to proceed or if the company can cover this, but...
We're definitely not covering your Sherpa fee. I can tell you that right now.
Warren Spahn, in his career, had 363 wins, 356 with the Braves, 4 with the Mets, and 3 with the Giants. Batting, he had 363 hits, 356 with the Braves, 4 with the Mets, and 3 with the Giants. He had 4 playoff wins, and you guessed it, 4 playoff hits.
But for all Johnson's skill and speed, there was one hitter whom he could not seem to intimidate. A young Georgian playing for Detroit, who soon found a way to get hits off Johnson. Walter Johnson was a kindly man, the Georgian explained, and never really wanted to hurt anybody.
It was useless to try for more than a single off Johnson. You had to poke and try to meet the ball. If you swung, you were dead. After he told me he was afraid he might kill a hitter, I used to cheat. I'd crowd the plate till I was actually sticking my toes on it, knowing he'd be so timid that he'd pitch me wide. Then with 2 balls and no strikes, he'd ease one up to get it one over. That's the Johnson pitch I hit. Ty Cobb.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves lead this one 7-0. Have a chance for a sweep here. Daysball Hernandez comes in, fires the first pitch, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And on his hands, it's on 1. The camera's following a lot of people around. I don't know if these are wigs or if these guys actually are rocking the Kenny Powers look. There's a lot of Grant Holmes, Kenny Powers type hair in the crowd today. The 1-1, right there for a strike. 1-2. You know, they had a giveaway for Strider and his mustache not too long ago. The 1-2, fouled straight back. Do it again. So I would tend to think that if Holmes has any kind of success as the 1-2 pitch is sliced down the right field line, foul and out of play. I could see them doing a wig giveaway. The 1-2 misses outside, 2-2. 2-2 count. Braves 7, Tigers nothing. Top of the 8th. The pitch, swing, sliced it back, foul. Do it again. Daysball Hernandez. The 2-2 pitch, swing, fouls it straight back. Malloy once again, 2-2. Malloy, we talked about this earlier. Justin Henry Malloy. The Justin and Henry are hyphenated, if you're wondering. It's not the Henry and Malloy. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Malloy down on strikes, 1 away. From New York, born in New York City in 2000, played his college ball for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. One down. Hernandez fires a 4-seam fastball in there to Kanya. Called for an outer strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swung on, banged on the ground to Riley. Riley fires it over to first. Bad throw, but a great catch by Olsen. It one-hopped. Olsen had to go into foul territory. Kind of a handcuff basket catch. He held the bag and the ball 2 away. Impressive play by Olsen. Thankfully, it wasn't closer than it was. The 2 runners would have slammed into each other. Two down. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Chopped foul. Back behind home plate. It's 0-1. Gio Urshela, the batter. He's 2 for 3. They are in the 6th. It's 1-1 Philly and San Diego. The pitch, slice foul over the first base dugout. Hard hit slider. It's 0-2. The 0-2 in the dirt, nowhere near the zone. 1-2. Hernandez 1 strike away from a clean inning. I've never understood why he doesn't stay up longer from the bullpen. He really normally Shows he's got pretty good stuff. The 1-2. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Chop back foul. Do it again. Remember, we've got a couple of guys on the shelf right now from the bullpen. Two left-handers, mainly the Minter and Matzik. The 1-2 pitch. Swing. Fouls it away. Just got a piece of it. So a 1-2 count. Braves 7, Tigers nothing. The 1-2. High and out of the zone, 2-2. Hernandez kicks and fires in the dirt. Ball 2-2. You know, the other thing is Ian Anderson. He's on his way back down in the minors, coming back from his injury, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. More on Ian Anderson when we come back, and an update on A.J. Smith-Shawver.
Dad, look, it's the good Kush.
This is the dollar store. How good can it be?
Just thought you guys should know that the Scottish have a word for laying around in bed after it's time to get up, and it's called herkle-durkling. I do be herkling and I do be durkling, and once I've herkled my last durkle in a given morning, I will get up, but I'm a big fan of a herkle-durkle, so you should be too.
Maybe a slight chance I might be pregnant.
Really? And why do you say that?
I've been craving weird things that I'm not
normally craving?
Yeah.
And now you crave it?
Like water.
Well, some of it could
crave
be
water. You ain't pregnant, you're thirsty. Go drink you some water. You'll be alright.
The Oakland Athletics mascot is somewhat randomly an elephant, but there is a reason for that. In the early 1900s, New York Giants manager John McGraw told the Athletics owner that he had a white elephant on his hands. A white elephant is something that's not as valuable as the effort needed for it. Athletics manager Connie Mack heard this and decided to make an elephant the team's logo.
How do we opt out of TikTok shop videos? I don't want to see them anymore! I'm not going to shop on TikTok shop! I'm going to shop on Amazon! Stop showing me your videos!
How come your socks aren't the same color?
I don't know. How come your kids don't have the same last name?
The greatest ball player of all time? I picked the Detroit man because he is, in my judgment, the most expert man of his profession and is able to respond better than any other ball player to any demand made upon him. He plays ball with his whole anatomy, his head, his arms, his hands, his legs, his feet. I have never seen a man who had his heart more centered in the sport than Cobb has when he's playing. I believe Cobb would continue to play ball if he were charged something for the privilege, and if the only spectator were the groundskeeper, Charles Comiskey.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 7-0. Joey Wentz, the left-hander, comes to the mound. First pitch on the way to Kelnick. It's a swing and a miss strike over the top. It's 0-1. Wentz. Get the tail of the tape on this guy. He looks huge. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. 6'5", 220 pounds. I was thinking he may be even taller than that. Big kid out of Lawrence, Kansas. Drafted by the Braves in 2016. 40th overall pick, the 0-2. Down and away, 1-2. So 1-2 count. Wentz with a 5.52 ERA this year and a 5.9 lifetime. The 1-2 to Kelnick. Lets her rip. Swing. Hits it high down the left field line, but fouling out of play. Ian Anderson threw his first rehab start last night. He went 2 innings. 2 perfect innings, by the way, striking out 4 for the FCL Braves. That's the Florida Complex League. That's single A. The 1-2. Did he go around? Looked like he did. He did. Strike 3. Kelnick, 1 for 5 on the day now, 1 away. One down. A.J. Smith-Shawver, there hasn't been a big update on him yet. I still think he's a ways away before we see him again. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty, righty, open stance for the whiz. The pitch. Down below the knees, 1-1. A.J. Minter, by the way, will throw multiple bullpen sessions and could be ready for a rehab assignment any day now, which could bring him back sometime next week. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. Yeah, just talked about Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson went 2 innings, 4 strikeouts last night. The 2-1 pitch, swing, hammered down the left field line, but foul, 2-2. They're going to take their time with Ian, too. He's going to have to. So he pitched 2 innings yesterday in the Florida Coast League. I still say best case scenario, he's back well after the All-Star break. The 2-2. Swung on, sliced foul down the line. Right field side, we'll do it again. And it looks like Grant Holmes is warming up in the bullpen. Exactly what we wanted. Yeah, baby. Kenny Powers about to come in. That's what we're talking about. The 2-2. Wentz kicks and fires. Outside wide, 3-2. Nothing against us getting extra runs here, but I kind of want this inning to end so we can see Kenny Powers. So a 2-2 count, or 3-2 count, excuse me. Ozzie is 2 for 3 on the day. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Man, nasty cutter. You see a guy like this come on, his size and the stuff that he has is mind-boggling that he has a 5.6 ERA. They're flashing up on the screen there that Ozuna's only behind Soto and Judge for the best OPS leaders in baseball. That means all 3 are going to be on Showcase Friday night. For those of y'all wanting to watch along as you listen, remember that's going to be on Apple. It's not going to be on your normal Bally. The 1-0, outside wide, 2-0. Depending where you live, Saturday night's game is on Fox. So a 2-0 count, but you'd still be able to get it off of the app. The 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. So in other words, if you're sitting in Nevada and they've got a West Coast game set up for you, you would be able to go on the app and watch the East Coast version of the Fox feed. The 2-1 pitch, outside wide, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Marcell Ozuna, 0-for. He doesn't take many of those callers. He has walked twice, to his credit. 1 strikeout. The 3-1 pitch to Marcell. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. Just foul, full count. The payoff pitch to Big Zoo. Swing, belted. That ball is going to die into left field. He smacked it, but just got underneath it. Man, oh man alive. Ozuna knew it too. We'll be back in a flash when we come back. Top of the 9th. And we got Kenny Powers coming to the mound.
Drink a whole lot of whiskey, chase a lot of women, and become a legend and die.
Hard work does not guarantee success. It doesn't, and it never will. But it absolutely will put you in the best position to be able to achieve it. I think that's one thing that we've seen throughout the course of this season. We got some remarkable men that are sitting here in front of me. And the work you put in, the decision that you made, just to say yes. Because you know what? It's really easy when things don't go well, right? And you're hurt, right? And you're angry, and you're sad. The easiest thing to do is to pull back and stop. That's what the world wants you to do. You deserve better than that. So I apologize to you. For you guys that are playing your last game, you had a season that will be remembered forever. And I respect the hell out of who you are for being in here today, for stepping on that field and going and giving everything. You have my respect.
Be nice to him when he gets here.
I will.
Just because he doesn't like football,
He doesn't like football.
I've told you this already.
He doesn't like it at all.
No.
What does he do over a weekend?
Well, we do things like read books and go for walks and spend time together.
I don't think you should be seeing this guy.
Why not?
I don't trust him.
The world doesn't revolve around football, Dad.
It does. I still don't understand what he does over a weekend.
Well, this weekend we're going shopping.
No.
Baseball is a red-blooded sport for red-blooded men. It's no pink tea, and mollycoddles had better stay out. It's a struggle for supremacy, a survival of the fittest.
Ty Cobb liked sentimentality in his opponents because he had none himself. Baseball, he said, is something like a war.
Ty Cobb is one of the great natural forces of baseball. Testament to how far you can get simply through will. I don't think Ty Cobb had tremendous natural ability. I don't think he would be a great athlete today. But his intensity, his drive was unparalleled. Cobb was pursued by demons, and he took out all of his aggressions on the playing field. Everyone was his enemy.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. This is the first time I've seen Grant Holmes take his hat off. I'm starting to think that's a wig. It doesn't look natural. Grant Holmes comes in. We'll be calling him Kenny Powers going forward. The first pitch on the way from KP is swung on, banged on the ground. It's going to be a 6-3 putout, one away. One down. I believe those are Kenny Powers' parents in the stands. One down, pitch on the way, 94-mile-an-hour fastball out wide, 1-0. So a 1-0 count. Pitch on the way from Holmes. Swing and a miss. 1-1, nasty slider. Braves 7, Tigers nothing, top of the ninth. The over-under, by the way, was 7.5 out in Vegas. So if you got the under or the over, you're sitting on the edge of your seat. The 1-1 misses in, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Kicks and fires. Did he go around? Looked like he did. They checked down to first base umpire Dan Bellino. Bellino says he did 2-2. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the curveball, 1 away. One down. First strikeout of the day for Mr. Powers. Grant Holmes. KP lifts his glove. The pitch. 95 up top, misses high. It's 1-0. It's funny that emoji that I found of Powers. Remember, if you ever watched that show, he was playing for the Atlanta Ball Club in the show. So he's wearing an Atlanta jersey in that emoji. The 2-0. Pitch on the way, swung on, banged on the ground to Ozzie. It's going to be a 4-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. That'll end the series. Braves win Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Kenny Powers. We might have ourselves a brand new weapon in that bullpen. I don't think he's necessarily closure material, but he'll be a hell of a bridge. We have a lead or fighting for it in the later stages of the game. 6th, 7th, 8th inning. Grant Holmes looks like the real deal. Braves win it 7-0. Game ball, I mean, is there any doubt? Give the game ball to Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy goes 2 home runs. Sean Murphy also, with those 2 home runs, goes 4 for 4. 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, and raises his batting average to 196. Tells you how bad he'd been playing. The Braves win it 7-0. We get the sweep. And we look forward to Friday night, where we're going to take on one of the best teams in baseball this year, the New York Yankees. We're heading to the Bronx, the house that I guess Jeter built, house that Ruth built's long gone, and it'll be pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. We know it's an afternoon game here, so we won't keep you long. Just going to real quick recap on what happened. Atlanta Braves win this one. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Detroit, 8 hits, 2 errors, no runs. Atlanta, so guys with crooked numbers in the books. Laureano went 2 for 4. He hit a home run. Murphy, 4 for 4, 2 home runs. Riley, 2 for 3. He scored a run. Ozzie Albies, 2 for 4. He's starting to heat up. And even Kelnick got in it with the hit. Duvall got a hit. And your Atlanta Braves. So the only guys that didn't get hits today, Ozuna, Olsen, and Arcia. Now, Arcia has almost become a given at this point. But who would have thought that we could have beat Tarek Skubal with Olsen and Ozuna going 0 for 7 and 3 strikeouts and going away with a 7-0 win. And other guys that contributed today, obviously Ronaldo Lopez, 5 strong innings, 7 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Aaron Bummer came on and pitched well in his own right. He's dropped his ERA down to 3.2. Lopez is now down to 1.57. Wow. Bummer, 2 innings, 1 hit allowed, 2 strikeouts. Daysbel Hernandez, not too shabby himself, 1 inning and 2 strikeouts. And Grant Holmes, a.k.a. Kenny Powers, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, a clean inning. And the Braves go back. Felt like I didn't think we were going to get back here for a while. We're 10 games above 500 again. So how about that? And if you're bored rest of the day, the Padres are playing the Phillies right now. They are in the 7th inning. It's tied 1-1. Later on tonight, you can take a quick glimpse of who we got to face on Friday. Garrett Cole is going to the bump for the Yankees. Yankees versus Orioles. That should be a fun one. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night and great afternoon, great rest of the afternoon. A quick game. This game was done in 2 hours and about 30 minutes. And the Braves win 7-0. We go to 41-31 on the year. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Have a great one.